Hey Mum,
Yeah.
we've had a load of questions on our TikTok video today. Would you like to just kind of talk about what we were talking about earlier?
Absolutely. So that video that I did earlier on today was all about how a gay marriage cannot rely on adultery if one of you have an affair with the same sex, which is totally unfair. But unfortunately, if within a gay marriage one of you have an extramarital affair, it won't be classed as an affair if you have slept with somebody of the same sex. It has to be somebody of the opposite sex in order for them to be able to use adultery.
Thousands of people were liking the first comment on that video, which was saying the law is homophobic.
You know, I can totally understand why people would interpret it in that way, because once we legally recognised gay marriages, everything else fell into place. When we sort the finances out, it's exactly the same following divorce for a heterosexual couple as it is for a gay couple. The only difference is that a heterosexual couple get to rely on 5 facts, one of those being adultery, whereas a gay couple have only got 4. So I can totally understand why people would make that comment.
So we've got another comment here. Husband of straight marriage sleeps with another man. Is that considered adultery?
No, it's not adultery because he's sleeping with somebody of the same sex. So if his wife then wanted to divorce him because he has had an affair, she just couldn't use adultery. She would have to use unreasonable behaviour.
And going forward was, why hasn't there been a change?
So I think, the reason why there hasn't been change is because you have to look at the definition of sexual intercourse. And currently, intercourse is defined legally as penetration of a woman by a man. So essentially by a penis into a vagina. Apologies for being so crude, but that is our legal definition. So how then do we apply that to a gay couple? We're going to have to overhaul the definition of intercourse. Now, we could potentially remove the word vagina so that we can then include a homosexual couple because penetration will take place there. But then if we look at a lesbian couple, there is no penetration by a natural body part. So then we would have to redefine that language. And how do we do that without making the complete definition of intercourse too loose? Because we can't then have a kiss or an embrace being adulterous. Because everybody could potentially be committing adultery. So I think therein lies the difficulty of actually establishing what language is used to define sexual intercourse.
It just doesn't feel very fair that it's the language that's stopping the reasoning for adultery to be used for a gay marriage.
And I agree, but what you've got to remember is that when it's the law, we do have to be really clear so that when we're applying the law or we're using a specific test that's been set out by the law, we have to really know our boundaries, and everyone has to be singing from the same hymn sheet. You can't, for example, expect common sense to apply because everybody will have a different measure of common sense. So we do have to be very specific in our language so that we can be fair to everybody. If we leave it too vague and too open to interpretation, it simply won't work.